It's been a minute since I've talked about Wisconsin, but in that time they've done nothing but roll over every single team that they have played. What's going on, everybody? Big Ten Ted coming at you here today for this game preview. Wisconsin and Nebraska this Saturday. Now, these are two teams that are going in completely opposite directions right now. Of course, Nebraska just fired pretty much all of their offensive assistant coaching staff. JoJo Domann, I'll get to that later on in the year. He's out for the season, that heart and soul on the defensive side for Nebraska. But Wisconsin is riding the Braylon Allen train, possibly all the way to Indianapolis, because right now, one could argue Braylon Allen is the best back, maybe outside of Kenneth Walker, in the Big Ten Conference right now, because ever since that probably Illinois game, Illinois Army middle of the season, he has absolutely taken over. Even though he was technically splitting time there with Chez Mellusi, and Chez is out for the season now, but now he's the main guy, but he was still the leading back in some of those games. It's the Braylon Allen show, right? Early in the season, Graham Mertz, and I would still argue Graham Mertz still hasn't found his rhythm in this Wisconsin offense. He still isn't the guy that they're expecting him to be. But Braylon Allen, oh boy, he's the next great Wisconsin running back. The true freshman right now is just running, and he is doing a phenomenal job running behind that great Wisconsin offensive line. So let's talk about this game. I mentioned JoJo Domann before. The heart and soul, man, he made so many great plays in that Ohio State game that kept Nebraska in the football game. And now you don't have a guy like that, a senior leader. He's done due to injury. So no JoJo right now. So how does that affect things? I think that's going to affect things big time. I think Wisconsin's going to be able to run the football pretty effectively in this game. Now, Nebraska does have a decent front. Nebraska is a team that's decent on defense. That is their main unit. That's their best unit this season. But this is maybe one of their toughest tests. Ohio State was a really tough test, and they performed well. But can they slow down Braylon Allen and this running game? I think if you look at Wisconsin and the blueprint that they've kind of followed this year, you got to look to yourself, well, at least if we can contain the running game, we'll have a chance, because Graham Mertz hasn't really shown the ability to go out and beat anybody using his arm. And this offense doesn't exactly have a lot of weapons in the passing game. So there's that. But on the other side of the coin, holy cow. That Wisconsin defense, statistically right now, the best in the country, and definitely best, obviously, in the Big Ten. You know, ever since they started 1-3, and after that, boy, this team has just become a different team, right? And you know, they've only allowed 10 points or more during this winning streak twice. 14 points to Army, 13 points to Purdue. Otherwise, every single game has been single digits. In today's day and age of offense and pushing the ball up and down the field, RPOs and all that stuff, it's a phenomenal accomplishment for Jim Leonard and this defense to be where they're at and to be able to put up numbers like that. That being said, this will probably be one of the better offenses Wisconsin has faced as of late. Yeah, now given they did face Purdue a couple of weeks ago and they shut them down, only allowing 13 points to the Boilermakers. I don't anticipate Nebraska going on the road to Madison and having a good day. Adrian Martinez has been gravely inconsistent this season. And I think Wisconsin's going to take advantage. Wisconsin's going to take advantage of that young offensive line at Nebraska. Nebraska has had offensive line troubles this season. I think they're going to have a whole lot of offensive line troubles in Madison here this Saturday, because that Wisconsin defense, we know what Jim Leonard's a great defensive coordinator, and we know he's going to come after this offensive line. And Adrian Martinez is going to have a tough day, because when you give Adrian Martinez fits, he does not make good decisions. I think we saw that a few times here this season. And where is everybody's heads at? Where's the mental space at Nebraska? I believe we're going to find out a lot about what kind of a coach Scott Frost is, because now that Trav Alberts has put the confidence in Scott Frost in terms of next season, now it's up to Scott to prove these last two games against solid opponents, ranked opponents, that, okay, this is still a good team. Okay, you lost a lot of your coaching staff. You're a little short-handed on offense. No JoJo on defense. How is Scott going to coach? Is Nebraska going to roll over and die? Are they finally going to get blown out in one of these games instead of the one-possession games that they had been playing? We're going to learn a lot about what kind of groundwork that Scott Frost has laid for the future and what kind of team, because there's a lot of kids on this team, right, with an entire offensive coaching staff coming in, especially on that side of the ball. There's a lot of kids on this team that might say, maybe this isn't the place for me. Maybe the portal is the best place for me. So there could be a lot of shifting. I think there's a lot of, maybe the player, there's a lot of second guessing going on right now. Oh, what if I did that? What if I did this? And that is not what you want when you're going on the road and playing a team like Wisconsin. There's a lot of looking towards next year right now in Lincoln, and the record indicates that, right? Of course, this year is gone, it's dead. I get that. But now when you got everybody looking towards 2022, what about those seniors? What about those guys that might not be back? What's their effort level like? What's Scott's effort level like? When he's got to have one eye on next year, but you also got to have one eye on Wisconsin. Well, you need more than one eye to beat Wisconsin. Nebraska might need a whole bunch of spider eyes to beat the Badgers here this Saturday. I think Nebraska can make this game competitive, but it's going to take a lot. Their defense is going to need to pitch another great effort, and without JoJo Domann leading that defense, the heart and soul of that defense, I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine this one being close. It's hard for me to imagine all that's going on in this Nebraska program for this to be a one-score game. I think Wisconsin's going to roll. I think that Wisconsin defense is going to give Nebraska trouble, especially that offensive line, all day long. And the Badgers are going to prove that they are the best team in the West Division, and it does not look good for the rest of the West right now. Remember, they have a one-game lead, Wisconsin does, on everybody else in the division. They've got the head-to-head over the Iowa Hawkeyes. Okay, so we'll see if Wisconsin can lock this one up here this weekend in the Big Ten West. I want to hear what you guys think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to Big Ten Ted. I'm Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.